Люди упали. Самолет разбился.
In the recent few months, a troubling string of plane crashes has sparked fear and confusion around the globe. These incidents, some seeming random and others more suspicious, have left both the aviation sector and the public searching for answers. From a missile strike near Kazakhstan to a violent storm disaster in Toronto and a strange runway collision in Arizona, it is impossible not to wonder if something more than a coincidence is at work. The real question isn't just about how these crashes occurred, but why are they happening now, right as 2024 gives way to 2025? Could a hidden force be responsible for these tragedies? Are there isolated events, or is there a much deeper connection? As we dive deeper into these accidents, we start to notice a disturbing pattern, hinting at the possibility of an organized operation or a far-reaching plan that might be behind it all. Number 3. Ezal plane crash near Aktau, Kazakhstan on December 25, 2024. A Airlines Flight 8243 and Embraer 190AR was struck mid-flight by a surface-to-air missile over the skies of Kazakhstan near Aktau International Airport. This flight, which was en route from Baku to Grozny, Russia, was abruptly diverted and then crashed after being struck by a missile. The crash resulted in the tragic deaths of 38 individuals on board, including both pilots, one flight attendant, and 35 passengers. Aboard the flight were 67 people in total, with 29 survivors, including several injured passengers who were rushed to a nearby hospital.
A passenger aboard the Azerbaijani aircraft shows the final moments before the plane crashed. The man filming the video did survive and is heard praying in Arabic, saying Allahu Akbar, God is great.
Самолет разбился. Прикинь, какая тема. Люди упали. Самолет разбился. Прикинь, какая тема.
The wreckage of the aircraft was found in a remote area, sparking a larger investigation as to why such a disaster occurred. Was this a freak accident, or was there something more at play? The cause of the missile strike is still under investigation by multiple parties, including the Kazakhstan government. But the idea that this might have been orchestrated by a geopolitical actor is growing more likely by the day. The fact that this happened near the unstable region between Russia and its neighboring countries, especially during heightened tensions. Was this intended to send a message, a clear warning to those involved in a larger conflict, or a deliberate strike aimed at the innocent civilians caught in the crossfire? The investigation into the crash highlighted several disturbing possibilities. For example, the fact that the missile was reportedly part of a Russian military exercise raises questions about the legitimacy about the attack. Was it truly an accident, or was it strategically timed? Could this be the first shot in a series of political motivated actions, with aviation being the unsuspecting target? The survivors who managed to escape the wreckage reported hearing unusual noises and witnessing the aircraft maneuvering erratically before the crash, suggesting a combination of missile impact and mechanical failure. But the real mystery here is a larger question. Is this the start of something more? Could there be a larger, hidden force behind these attacks, targeting civilian aircrafts for reasons that remain concealed beneath the surface? The investigation is ongoing, but these questions hang in the air like a dark cloud. What if the real cause of the crash lies beyond the missile, In the shadows of the global geopolitics, and in the unseen battle between powers.
You're seeing this airplane just crash into 3.
Number 2. Delta Airlines Flight 4819 crash landing in Toronto. On February 17th, 2025, Delta Airlines Flight 4819 Bombardier CRJ-900 encountered severe weather as it attempted to land at Toronto Pearson International Airport. The plane, traveling from Minneapolis, faced brutal weather conditions, including heavy snow, gusty winds, and icy runways. The aircraft crash-landed and flipped over on the runway, an event that could have been catastrophic had it not been for the heroism and quick response of the flight crew. The flight had 80 individuals on board, 76 passengers and 4 crew members. Remarkably, despite the violent landing, all passengers survived. However, 18 people were injured, with 2 critically injured but non-life-threatening. 1 child was taken to the Children's Hospital for treatment, though all survived. The terrifying event caused massive disruptions at the airport, with all runways closed and 237 flights canceled, throwing the airport into chaos. But the question that lingers is, was this just a freak weather accident, or was it engineered? Is it possible that the storm itself wasn't just a result of natural phenomena, but rather part of a larger, orchestrated effort to create chaos in one of the busiest airports in North America? Investigators are looking into the exact cause of the crash, but the implications of the timing and severity of this event raise unsettling questions. What if the storm wasn't entirely natural? Could it have been influenced or manipulated in ways we don't even understand? Given the rise in technology capabilities, it's not out of the realm of possibilities that groups or organizations with advanced weather manipulation techniques are testing the systems in place. The crash happened in an environment that seemed almost too perfect for such a disaster. A runway too slick with snow and winds that came out of nowhere. Was this a test run for a future event? One in which the disruption is far more deadly. The Transportation Safety Board of Canada is conducting its investigation, but even they may be scratching the surface of a much larger, more organized plan. Could these crashes be part of a wider campaign to destabilize major air travel hubs, perhaps driven by entities that operate from the shadows? As more and more incidents like this unfold, the questions grow. Who stands to gain from these widespread disruptions, and why is this happening now?
This happened. Surveillance video shows a Learjet scraping the runway upon landing this afternoon, and then, according to the FAA, veers off the runway and slams into a Gulfstream jet. Our thoughts and prayers.
Number 1. Scottsdale Airport collision on February 10th, 2025. A devastating crash occurred at Scottsdale Airport.
Oh, the engine's still running.
They doused the engine, shutting it down while the smell of fuel filled the air.
There was no fire. That could have been.
In Arizona, when a Learjet 35A veered off the runway and collided with a parked plane. The crash resulted in 1 fatality and 4 injuries, with the surviving individuals being transported to nearby hospitals for treatment. The aircraft, which was preparing for takeoff, experienced a series of erratic movements on the runway, leading to the collision. The jet's crash left wreckage scattered across the runway, causing significant damage to both planes. The NTSB is investigating, and though they have yet to determine the full cause of the crash, early reports suggest that a combination of a mechanical failure and pilot error may have contributed to the incident. But is it possible that this crash, like so many others, is part of a bigger picture? Could there be a hidden agenda at play? One that has been carefully orchestrated by an unknown group seeking to destabilize the world's aviation infrastructure? What if this was more than just a technical malfunction? What if it was a signal? When we step back and look at the series of crashes that have taken place in such a short period, whether the missile attack in Kazakhstan, the crash landing in Toronto, or this near miss, an unsettling pattern starts to emerge. Is it possible that the aviation industry is being targeted as part of a larger geopolitical or economic strategy? Could a hidden organization be manipulating these crashes to create fear and disrupt daily life? The fact that this particular crash occurred in such an unexpected location adds another layer of intrigue to this mystery. Scottsdale Airport is typically known for being a low-traffic, smaller airport, making the crash even more suspicious. Was this an isolated incident, or is it connected to something far greater? And why the sudden surge in aviation incidents at the very end of 2024 and the start of 2025? Could this be part of a countdown signaling the start of something much larger and darker that is still unfolding? The questions keep piling up, but the answers are yet to come. Could there be an organization behind these events, quietly pulling the strings of global aviation? And if so, what is their ultimate goal? As the investigations continue, the questions surrounding these crashes only
We're
grow
wearing night
more
vision
urgent.
goggles at the time of the crash.
Why are these accidents happening with such intensity, and what is causing them now? Could someone or something be manipulating these situations to disrupt and destabilize global system? While these crashes may appear as coincidences on the surface, they could also signal the beginning of a calculated effort to cause chaos. With no clear answers yet and more incidents under scrutiny, it's evident that this situation is far from resolved. As we watch and wait for the truth to unfold, we must consider, are these isolated accidents, or are we witnessing the start of something far more organized and dangerous? The full story, as always, may be more far-reaching than we ever thought possible.